Ugh. Yo, what is good? The dog days of summer. You ever have a week where like you feel like everything's going your way, and then you go back to review all of those photos, and then it turns out that you were just firing shots for no reason? That was my week, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about a 6-day stretch from August 2nd through Sunday, August 7th. So in that 6-day stretch, I ended up shooting 12 rolls in 6 days, so that's 2 rolls a day. All of those rolls were Portra 800, except for one where I put in Portra 400. In that 6-day stretch, it was 41 and a half hours of me being on the streets taking photos. And in terms of walking, I walked just over 51 miles. Okay, day one, just kind of wandered the city for a little bit, wandered around Midtown, took some photos, warmed up, walked up like 7th, eventually kind of made my way up 7th Avenue. After like an hour or so of like kind of like just, wandering around Midtown and warming up and stuff, we ended up around 42nd and 5th. That's where I spent a lot of time this week and this month actually. That's kind of been my favorite corner for whatever reason. It's kind of picked up a lot, and it's kind of the light there is really good kind of throughout the entire day. Took a photo there. There was an artist type guy, like literally an artist type guy. He was carrying like a sketch pad, and he had like pencils in his pocket, and I think he had like a beret or something on. But like he kind of stopped at one of the poles, put his arms up, and then I was pretty close to him, so I just took his photo a couple times, and he was cool with it. Took that photo, and then after that, I walked up 5th Avenue from 42nd Street. In that stretch, I ran into Sean, East Coast Emulsion. Some of you guys may have seen him in like the Q&A video that I posted like last month or so. He walked right by me without noticing me, and I was drinking a water. So as he walked by, I threw my water bottle at him.
Got my adrenaline going a little bit now. Get pelted with a bottle. You don't expect that.
Wait, you just got hit with a bottle?
Yeah, I wonder who threw it at me.
Kind of walked with him for a little bit. We kind of wandered up and down 5th Avenue. I eventually kind of lost him in the crowds, but ended up meeting up with him again back at 42nd and 5th anyways, when I kind of did the up and down of 5th Avenue. And then I eventually went back, made my way back to 42nd and 5th, and hung out there for a couple of hours. Spent most of the day at that corner. Ran into my homie Conway photo. That's going to be a recurring theme throughout this video, is running into Conway at 42nd and 5th. So this was the first day and the first time that I saw him this week, and it was at 42nd and 5th. So yeah, I spent a couple of hours. I was at 42nd and 5th. I don't think I actually got any good photos in that stretch, but I did run into some other friends. I ran into Cena. You guys might know him as Strange Victory. My homie Dustin Roderick, who you guys probably know, who's been in these videos. He also showed up to that corner. I got to see some of Cena's very unconventional ways of taking shots of people. Me, Dustin, and Cena walked through the Diamond District. Eventually, they dipped, and I ended up at Herald Square again, where I think I ended my day. The light was good there still. It is good there in the summertime through golden hour. So I just kind of stuck around there and took some photos before deciding that I was tired and I wanted to go see my daughter, my baby, see her before she went to bed. So I went home, and that was the first day. Day 2. Let's talk about day 2. I feel like this is my longest day out in the street. Another hot day. When I say it's hot, I mean this week it was like in the 90s with humidity. So it was an obstacle in my photographical week. Where do we start? We started at Herald Square. Surprise, surprise. Very similar to the day before, except I started earlier. Warmed up, wandered around Midtown, just like taking photos, warming up. Again, I was being very loose. Just hitting that shutter. I was just hitting that shutter just to get warmed up. And I was feeling good. So if that counts for anything, I was feeling good. I felt like I was having a good day. Ended up near St. Patrick's Cathedral again on 5th Avenue. There was a lady there in like a wedding gown, a wedding dress, and she was shooting some content. She was kind of like running up and down in front of Saks 5th Avenue. I was like, okay, I'm gonna hijack their shoot for a photo. So I tried to get low, I think, and then I took the shot. She was kind of just running. There was like the American flags in front of Saks behind her, framed up behind her. Little hijack of her little photo session or video session for myself. Ended up walking over to Lexington and then up through like the 60s around the Upper East Side. I don't think I took a photo up there, but yeah. And then I ended up in Grand Central. I like never shoot in Grand Central. It's so dark in Grand Central. The video might not reflect how dark it is, but I'm talking like shutter speed at 60th of a second and like the aperture at like 2.8. I took some photos of some families, like some tourists just kind of gawking at like the structure and stuff. Did that for a little bit and then got out of there and went back to 42nd and 5th for a decent amount of time. Back at 42nd and 5th, guess what I run into? Conway. Like I said, I feel like I saw him every day at that corner. So shout out to Conway. Ran into some other friends, ran into Diego, who I haven't seen in a long time. I spent like hours kind of like bumping around. I think I went to like 8th Avenue for a golden hour. Didn't take any photos that I liked. And then I dipped. I went back to Herald Square for a little bit and then I left. But yeah, hot day. Day 3. We're on day 3. What is that? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I feel like the days Thursday is usually a really good day to take photos, although I don't know if I shot that much on Thursday. I think Thursday was like the hottest day of the week. It was like over 100 degrees with the heat index. It was like 102, 103 or whatever. So hydrated again, Midtown, did the Midtown route. Saw Conway at 42nd and 5th. You back. Back. Again, I feel like I've seen you every day this week.
Of course. Trying to work it, man. So busy. I finally got some shorts on today at least.
Whoa. What's a good photo that I took? I think maybe not a good photo, but made this photo. There was a yellow Corvette that pulled up to 42nd and 5th. There was a small toy yellow Corvette in the dashboard of the car. Took a photo with the toy Corvette in the dashboard from the side of the actual car, and you can see the driver through the side mirror. So that was semi-interesting. I feel like that was it. I feel like I took not that many other photos that day. Wandered around. I think I walked about 10 miles that day. Walked around and didn't really see that much. It was busy. Again, I was firing off photos. I was out there and I was taking a lot of pictures. After reviewing them, I don't think I liked a lot of them. So I think I went through like 2 or 3 rolls that day. Then I left Midtown towards Union Square, 14th Street. I think I took like 2 pictures after I left Midtown. Ended my day at like Union Square. Just kind of sat around and enjoyed the sights and hoped a photo would come along, but kind of, even if a photo didn't come along, just kind of enjoyed being outside. That was Thursday. If you look at the output, it's pretty uneventful, but like I feel like in the moment, I feel like I was feeling good. Shout out to Gelatin Labs. Shot 12 rolls this week. All of those rolls were processed and scanned by Gelatin Labs. The turnaround time is insane. 1 day turnaround time for 12 rolls. Crazy. Quality is great. Customer service is top notch. Shout out to Gelatin Labs. Shout out to the whole team at Gelatin Labs. Go get your film processed and scanned at Gelatin Labs. Hit that link in the description. Show them some love. So Friday was like my shortest day that I've had in this week. Fridays are weird because people don't go to the office on Fridays, which is cool. It kind of makes foot traffic more unpredictable. Usually the tourist areas are packed. On this day, nothing was really busy, maybe because it was so hot people didn't want to go outside. I started the day walking through Washington Square, went through to Soho, and I planned to spend most of the day downtown, like in Soho and Chinatown. You know, I really tried to make it work, and after a couple of hours it just wasn't working. So I ended up going back to Midtown, 42nd Street, and guess who I saw? I saw Conway, 42nd and 5th. Had a cookie, and then went back to Herald Square, where I think I ended my day in like the evening, like around golden hour again. Yeah, that was Friday. Saturday was a pretty good day, but I didn't really take photos on Saturday. I spent Saturday filming the walkie-talkie with Scotty Song. So I spent, 6 hours with him, kind of bumping around Midtown. If you guys haven't seen that video, go watch that video after this. Even though I finished a roll, there was nothing great on it, but yeah, Saturday was the walkie-talkie day, and go watch that video if you wanna see what Saturday was like. And that brings us to the last day of this video, which was Coney Island. You know what happened? It rained. And you know what happens when it rains on a Coney day? it thins out the crowd. My plan was to go to Coney and take photos on the boardwalk, because the last couple times that I went to Coney, I spent all of my time or most of my time on the beach. So I wanted to have a balanced set of photos from Coney. So I wanted to make sure I took a lot of photos on the boardwalk, but it rained, so not many people on the boardwalk. I got there like around 3 p.m. and honestly I considered leaving Coney like every 15 minutes because there was just not many people there. But since it takes me so long to get there, I just kind of stuck it out. And eventually the sun came out, it got better. I ended up shooting 2 whole rolls there. Eventually ran into Cisco, so that was cool. Did you take my picture?
Oh shit, what up? What's going on, man?
And kind of shot with him for a little bit. I stayed at Coney until about sunset, and then when sunset hit, decided to head home. Luckily, Cisco lives close to me, so instead of taking the hour 15 subway ride home, it was like a 45-minute ride with Cisco. So shout out to Cisco for giving me that ride. Yeah, that was my week of photography. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Coming at you next week with another walkie-talkie. So hit that subscribe button, show me some love, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks. We out. Subscribe to the channel, please. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Now when they see us in the streets, all they wanna do is take pics, and I'm like, okay.